welcome to another episode of the Firmware Update, your PlayStation podcast for news, reviews, and everything in between. I'm one of your hosts, Malcolm Spinetti, and joining me, as always, Joe Garcia.
The one and only.
The one and only. And folks, we have an update on Unemployed Gate 2015. As Joe, we may finally have an answer to your unemployment issue.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get any sort of income whatsoever.
Indeed, because folks, he has an interview, but much like a D&D game or the beginning to quite a few 1980s movies, he has no idea as to what.
My understanding is that, my brother, he's the one who got me an interview where he works, and he just started working there recently. My understanding of what he does is it's some sort of phone gig, so I don't know.
Now, are you sure it's not like I don't want to say telemarketing or something, but is it like a Quickstar?
I don't know what that is, but I'll say yes.
It's sort of like this gig where you get access to this website which sells stuff, and then you get more people to buy from it, and then you get a profit from it. And then if you get them to start doing it, when they start making more money, then you will start making even more money from these guys. I have actually a few friends who do it, and I've been positioned a few times since joining AT&T. So. But anyway, yeah, Joe could be. I joke with Joe that he could be a garbage man, which shockingly he's really up for.
Hey, man, the garbage men here have supremely cushy jobs. They make almost $30 an hour. They've got full benefits. It's pretty sweet.
Because the job sucks. That's the most thing that's sweet about it, Joe.
Well, they perform a vital duty.
You're hanging at the end of a truck that is full of crap, litter, and like various other forms of garbage coming out of it, dude.
You put the garbage in the truck, Malcolm. It's not flying out.
It's not flying out, dude, but the smell doesn't stay in there. It's not vacuum sealed. You're gonna like faint and collapse on your first day. But that is just potentially one of the jobs, folks. He could. Who knows? He might be. Your brother might work for IGN. You don't know.
I wouldn't know that.
Or you go in there and it's Polygon, and you're like, "Holy shit! This is what I was after." Oh wait, this was it? What you're after? I'm sorry, bro. Well, good luck, Joe. And how are you going to position the resume? Because you have to position it so that you would work, especially for this job.
Yeah.
Imagine if you position it so that, hey, I'm a great people person, talking on the phone, and it has nothing to do with phones. And this guy's just reading this resume. He's like, why does he keep mentioning phones? When you freaking out, you're delivering stuff there. Oh, man. So, anyway, Joe, what have you been playing this week?
This week? What have I been playing this week? Let's see. I got with my $40 Amazon gift card that my friend got me for my birthday, very belatedly. I got two things. I got, let's see, WWE 2K15.
Hold on a sec. When was your birthday?
January.
Okay. All right. Good. I thought it was recent for a second.
No, it was okay.
I was about to feel like garbage. Like, oh shit.
See, and I also got Final Fantasy Type 0 HD.
You got it.
Yeah, and with the with
the demo. Oh,
yeah. And so WWE 2K15 was $40 on sale anyway. So basically, just got both games for the price of one.
All right. And how do you feel about WWE 2K15 so far?
It's very pretty.
Yep, that's pretty much what people say.
Yeah, the new grappling system is very great. But whatever.
Are you going to get the NXT Arrival kit with such NXT alumni like JBL?
I don't know, because part of the deal was that what also pushed me to get WWE 2K15, besides it being on sale, was that for this week only, you also get the 2K Showcase Season Pass free with a copy of a game. So I was like, yeah, that works. So
you may as well at that point, man.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, why not? But unfortunately, the Season Pass only includes the Showcase stuff. So I wasn't able to get the actual wrestlers that are available for sale.
Oh, dang it! You won't be able to get Adam Rose.
Yeah, I have to pay separately for the privilege of wrestling with Adam Rose.
No Emma, no Ascension, who are nowhere near WrestleMania this year, but
man, they're pretty much done.
They sadly. Don't worry, folks. Don't worry. We know we have another podcast for this talk, but goddamn.
Let's see what else did I played. And I played like 20 minutes of the Final Fantasy 15 demo, which is pretty sweet, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's.
I was bracing myself for what you would say about this.
No, the battle system was pretty great.
Yeah. Speaking of Type 0, many moons ago, you folks might remember that I said that I might have been able to secure a what are the collector's edition of it,
mm-hmm.
And luckily, sure enough, guess what was sitting on my doorstep when I got home today?
I don't know. Tricky question. Pontificate.
Well, that's because you never listen to me, Joe. It was that collector's edition, and it's a pretty ginormous box too. But yeah, it got everything we've talked about on this show, which I would give you the episode number, but I'll just tell you now, just for the heck of it. You get the game, you get a steel box for it because kids love steel boxes. You also you get the demo as well as the soundtrack for the game. You get an art book. And you get a 200 freaking page manga. That was like, wow. It's like pretty much like everything that I actually care about. Oh, and you get playing cards that one of the main characters, Ace, uses, if I recall correctly. So it is currently downloading said demo as we speak. And once we get done and this episode goes on live on the iTunes, I am most assuredly going to start playing the heck out of that game. As the game looks sweet, I'm happy to hear Joe say it plays sweet. Have you seen my Facebook at all, where people have already found the summon? Of course, that's in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, it's the most amazing that summon has looked, and it's a pretty awful summon most of the time. Let's be frank, folks. Ruma, as he's called, he's like essentially there just so you could say you got a summon in the game at some point. But God, if that's how he looks, I can only imagine how Bahamut and some of the other ones look. And you know what? I've also been playing a lot of that I got back into playing this week, Joe. And no, Joe, sadly, it is not Wolfenstein.
Did you even beat that over your vacation?
Nope.
You. What am I going to do with you, Malcolm?
I don't know, Joe. I don't know.
I've never been more disappointed in you.
Hey, I still have some days with no wife in the house, so who knows? But I've been playing the heck out of Diablo 3.
What are you doing to yourself?
Okay, I want to just specify something here. Now, and I'm not going to turn this into a back and forth with our Destiny fans out there. If you love Destiny, that's great, but we've said our piece on Destiny, and we stand by it. I've also been playing Monster Hunter, which, as far as the work and you get rewarded type of game, I would say is better. But man, if you're looking for just a fun time, Diablo 3 holds up. It's like I've popped in and I'll play like an hour or 2 hours. There's just doing that bounty mode that you unlock after you beat the game. And I get like a cool new piece of armor or a cool new weapon like every session. Like every session, it never feels wasted. I'm always a little stronger. Like right now, my monk, who can hit like several times per second, every time he hits you, I regain over 70,000 hit points each time.
That's pretty impressive.
It's awesome. It's super awesome. And the awesome thing is there's so many little things that you can improve upon that, there's always a way for you to get better. So it never feels like you wasted your time at all. Not saying it doesn't feel super, super cool when you get that icebreaker gun in Destiny. Trust me, Destiny has its good points too. But, oh man, I miss Diablo.
Yeah, it's a fine game. But
It's gonna break my heart, Joe, when that Game of the Year tournament rolls by and I have no excuse to put it in there somehow.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, as much as I love Diablo 3, I'm still disappointed that you went to the old comfort zone rather than diving into something new and awesome like Wolfenstein.
I did try diving into it, and I kept getting stuck in like this one area. Like I kept getting lost in that game.
Have you considered looking at a guide?
How much do guides cost for that?
You just go on GameFAQs.
Yeah, that's true.
Who the hell has paid for a strategy guide in the last 15 years?
If the game is really, really awesome, I will get the strategy guide.
I did buy the strategy guide for Metal Gear Solid 5 or 4.
I was about to say that's impressive, man.
Got the collector's edition of that as well, so I guess I can't really talk.
Yeah.
But what else? Oh, I played Super Metroid too.
Oh, okay.
Because man, games don't come much better than Super Metroid. Let me tell you.
Let's see. The last strategy guide I got was for Majora's Mask when that came out.
Okay, we're back on strategy guide.
Well, no, I thought that was the subject here. Here, you discussed the last one you got, so it's called a conversation, Joe. You build up upon it. But yeah, and I got Bloodborne coming up. I got the strategy guide for that.
What a maroon.
Well, hey, I actually am a fan of one of the authors of the strategy guide, so.
You can be a fan of a strategy guide author?
Yeah.
That's the thing?
Look him up on YouTube. His name is Epic Name Bro, and Prima Guides, as well as the people behind From Software, actually went out into the community, because there's like a bunch of YouTubers who focus primarily on Dark Souls or Demon Souls stuff, one of which is Epic Name Bro, and who created quite a few, like, majority of the videos that people use for walkthroughs for the games are from Epic Name Bro. In fact, it was him who helped me beat Dark Souls as well as Demon Souls afterwards. So, and From Software basically went up to this YouTubers and said, "Hey, would you like to help make the strategy guide for our next game?" He actually worked on the strategy guide for Dark Souls 2, and was re-invited to come back and do the strategy guide for Bloodborne. So,
okay,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know what else is cool? Super Metroid.
What's that?
So Super Metroid.
Metroid's super awesome too, and I am still trying to figure out where to go in that game too. That's an easy way to lose me. I just start playing. I start playing. If I start running back and forth, this used to happen to me all the time in early NES RPGs too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that never happened to you, apparently, there, Jane. It's like, no, I knew where to go.
You're just bad.
You just
you're
go.
Just bad at this.
It's a Nintendo game. You just go to the right the whole time.
I guess what I don't understand here, Malcolm, is how you can be so into a game so crushingly hard as Dark Souls, but you get lost in something so linear as Wolfenstein.
Hey, you know how many times I died to freaking guys with guns there? That was pretty punishing. It's like, it's one thing to be stabbed. It's like another thing to be shot by Nazis. Freaking A. All right, I'll try again. I'll promise you before the week's out, I will try again, okay?
Okay.
All right, folks. We have a news-tastic edition of the Firmware Update this week. But don't worry, we have quite a few things in store for the upcoming weeks. Me and Joe both have Final Fantasy Type 0, so that means we got a double review coming up, which will be awesome. We'll also kind of give our thoughts on the demo, aside from just it's awesome. We'll actually be a little bit more in depth. And we have other stuff, too, that we're not sure if we can talk about, so we'll just keep it on the hush-hush for right now, but it's a really, really good something coming up. And we got more on the way. But first, folks, let's get to why y'all tuned in this week. Let's head to the news. All right. It's been a busy week, Joe. Nintendo apparently makes cell phone games now. That's awesome. But, but what else happened this week in the world of PlayStation?
Well, Malcolm, Sony has posted its financial report for the third quarter of 2014, which I believe takes place between October and December 2014. So that's how financials work, I guess. But anyway, apparently sales in their game and network services division, which is where PlayStation lives within Sony, increased 16.8% year over year to $4.39 billion, thanks to, quote, an increase in PS4 hardware unit sales, the favorable impact of foreign exchange rates, and the significant increase in network services revenue, according to their report. The game and network services division operating income increased to $228 million, but was offset by a $93 million write-down of components for PS Vita and PlayStation TV. The quote here says, this write-down was recorded because the latest forecast of PlayStation TV unit sales does not reach our original forecast as a result of lower than expected unit sales in the current quarter. So basically, the PlayStation 4
is awesome.
Is awesome. The Vita and the PlayStation TV are kind of weighing them down a bit.
Don't worry, Joe. That VR helmet comes out, and we'll be swimming in dough. But that's depressing. I mean,
yeah.
It confuses me. It's kind of annoys me because once again, PlayStation TV. People were begging for it. It's not like you can't blame Sony for this. People were begging them to release it here, and
yeah.
And the moment it's released, nobody cares. I mean, this is what I still say. This is why would be the case if Nintendo released the smaller version of the new 3DS. People are whining about it now, but if they release it, no one would get it.
Yeah, that's probably true, unfortunately.
Yeah, people just want what they can't have, even if they don't.
Basically, yeah.
You don't know what you want, okay? And it's also a shame still with the Vita.
Yeah,
because that system had potential, but it's clear that they want to focus on the PS4, which I can't argue with them with. That would be the pony to push, but you sort of shot the horse in the foot. But well, what do you think, Joe?
Well, I mean, at least games still do come out for the Vita. People used to rag on, there's no games. Like, there have always been games on the Vita.
Games come out for the Vita every goddamn week.
Yeah, a lot of great games come out for the Vita every week.
And it's mass because, a lot of the games that are out that you can play on the PS4 or PS3, you can also play on the Vita.
Yeah. And, remote play is cool. It's a cool feature. You've got both PS4 and the Vita. So, there's a lot of upside for the Vita, but for whatever reason, the market just does not respond to it.
And I'm trying to figure it out, too. I mean, it's not a bad price. Yeah, the memory cards are annoying, but, I don't see that as necessarily a deal breaker.
Yeah.
So, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
PlayStation TV, I am considering getting one just so my wife who travels out of the house has like some way to play stuff. But at the same time, I'm kind of surprised that that's not working better. But at the same time, the Apple TV is now the same price.
Yeah.
So I could see like, all right, do you get a PlayStation TV or do you get the Apple TV? I can understand you going another direction. But
I mean, how much is the PlayStation TV now? Is it still
$69?
Yeah, I think the Apple TV is actually cheaper. Isn't it 60?
No, it's $69. It used to be $99, then they dropped as of that Apple conference that they did not too long ago. It dropped to $69.
Man.
You never make something $60 or $50 even. It's always a penny less, so it's $59.99. So it appears like you're saving money. Ugh. But on the plus side, though, a very big plus side, PS4 is still amazing.
Yeah.
It is still the number one home console unit in the United States, so that is great.
Mm.
All right. Anything else to say on the subject, buddy?
No, sir.
All right, moving on.
All right, so this past week was, or past weekend rather, it was South by Southwest, which has an interactive segment. It's basically a big festival for different kinds of entertainment, and they've got an interactive area for games. And they had their awards as well this week, which means we've got a list of award winners here for the South by Southwest Interactive Festival.
Well, I wonder if you can copy and paste the winners from previous shows. Jeez.
Game of the year is, once again, goes to Dragon Age Inquisition.
Hey.
Because people sure do love overrating that game.
Hey, man, they have to make up for it not winning our Game of the Year special, dude.
Sure, yeah, because I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, our Game of the Year holds so much weight.
That was a big blow to them, man. Come
on. Mobile Game of the Year was Hearthstone. Tabletop Game of the Year. Okay, so I guess this is very inclusive for all kinds of games. Tabletop game. Excellence in gameplay went to Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
Excellence in art went to Child of Light. Excellence in anime. Oh, God.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying, yeah.
Excellence in animation was Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor again.
You're right.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
I'll allow it. No.
Excellence in technical achievement was Destiny.
Destiny wins like the weirdest awards, man.
Basically, basically all the awards it wins are well, at least it's not broken. Here you go.
It's like, yeah, it had that amazing launch. It's like the thing I keep praising it. It's like, it should have been shit at like that first week, but it was awesome the entire time. So,
yeah. All
right. Congratulations.
Let's see. Excellence in visual achievement, which is separate from excellence in art for some reason. Going to Far Cry 4. Let's see. Excellence in narrative went to The Wolf Among Us.
Okay. Awesome.
Excellence in design and direction went to Middle-earth. Excellence in sound effects went to Alien Isolation. Excellence in musical score went to Transistor. Excellence in multiplayer went to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Excellence in convergence, which I'm guessing means licensed stuff, was South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Yeah, I'd give it an award for that.
Most valuable character was Ellie in The Last of Us Left Behind.
That's I didn't know there was a category for that.
Most valuable character. Most valuable online or add-on content was The Last of Us Left Behind.
Yeah, that was a good content, actually.
Yeah. And, that's pretty much the gist of
that content, by the way, was story-driven. Imagine that. All right. Well, for the most part, I agree with that. Once again, it sounded like it was Mordor and Dragon Age that pulled off the major victories there.
Weirdly, Dragon Age didn't win any other awards besides Game of the Year, so it kind of makes me wonder how Shadows of Mordor didn't get Game of the Year.
Yeah, I never understand that. Like, how does it not win RPG of the Year when it's Game of the Year? It's superior to all other games, but if you're just including just games of its own genre, it's not as good.
Like, apparently it doesn't play as well, or isn't as pretty, or doesn't tell as great a story, but hey, it's Game of the Year. It's like, okay.
It's like, do you get disqualified when you win one of the smaller ones?
Yeah, that's always weird to me. When like a game loses out in its very specific genre category, but wins like an overall like Game of the Year thing. It's like, okay.
So, who won for best racing/fighting game?
Oh, man.
Still my favorite category from the awards show this year. We need to give Mario Kart an award. Just make it a racing category. Freaking A. So, how do you feel about these awards, Joe, other than your apparent hatred of Dragon Age Inquisition?
Well, I mean, still don't understand how people enjoy that game as much as they do. But there you have it.
Well, maybe if anyone feels like it, write into the show. Firmware update podcast at gmail.com. Shout out at Joe. I've tried, folks, to tell people how awesome this game is. But, Joe, he can't listen to me. He doesn't like it. But maybe if you, intrepid viewer, can talk to him how awesome this game is, we can get somewhere. But I am... Oh, dear. Hold on, there's someone at the door. I'll be right back. Sorry. And my apologies there, folks. My wife just got back early, so I had to go say hey and kiss her and all that, and then say, hey, get out of here, woman. I'm podcasting. I don't care if you've been gone for 2 weeks. Show comes first. That's how dedicated I am, Joe. Mm-hmm. All right, now, where were we?
All right, we've got another story here. This is a pretty cool story, I think. I kind of wish it would do something like this in North America, but in Denmark,
Okay, I thought you were about to say Japan. It was like Denmark? Okay.
In Denmark, Malcolm, Sony has partnered with blood donation organization Give Blood to gather blood donations in exchange for copies of Bloodborne on PS4.
Oh, is this? Are they going to do something with that? Did you hear about that video game system that drains your blood as you get hurt?
Oh God. No, I don't think so. Apparently, donors can choose between Bloodborne and other undisclosed PS4 games, but the campaign is focusing on Bloodborne for obvious reasons.
Only Bloodborne can work with this, Joe.
Let's see. Donors are also entered to win a PS4. So there you go. Pretty. Let's see. So yeah, if you're in Denmark for any reason on Monday, March 23rd, go head on over to go do that. There you go.
So next week, Joe, the game comes out. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
I am to say I'm super stoked is an understatement. I will definitely have a review for the show as I just play the frig out of that game. But I have to say I'm disappointed. We never got that red PS4 that I was so sure we were going to get.
That you wouldn't have bought anyway.
Well.
So, but you know how people want the things they can't have.
But Metal Gear 5 gets the red PS4. That is so weird.
Well, that's because Metal Gear Solid 5 is something people care about.
Just you wait, Joe. This game. This is going to change everything, and people are going to start caring for people care now. It's just I will concede that not to the degree that people care about Metal Gear. I'll give you that. But anyway, very very cool. I like this. This is such a fun idea. So if you die, do you lose all in the game? Do you lose all your blood in real life?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's going to make some kid in need quite the happy camper. Great news, Timmy. Somebody lost in Bloodborne. He died, so you may live. Oh man, but only in Denmark.
Only in Denmark.
Freaking not even Japan. You think Japan would be all over this? You die in the game, you give blood or something like that.
You think so?
You think so? Maybe the guy who wins will receive only one limited edition, the only existing limited edition blood red PS4.
Yep.
Oh well. All right. So kudos to Sony and From Software for this idea. I hope it goes well.
Yep.
All right. What's next?
Let's see. If you're in the UK, you'll be getting a closed beta for PlayStation Now sometime this spring, Malcolm. Sony has open registration for private beta tests as well. So if you head on over to PlayStation.com/PSNow, you can go ahead and register your interest in participating in that. So there you go.
All right. Do you have the link handy?
Yeah.
Yeah, send that over. Now, I feel like an idiot because I thought PlayStation Now was out now.
I mean, it's out here in the U.S.
Oh, okay. Where is this?
The U.K.
Oh, okay.
Glad you're paying attention as always, Malcolm.
Okay, I missed that small part, okay?
Literally the crux of the story.
Yes. Hey, I got my wife walking around here, okay? Freaking A. See, Joe, when you get married, when you find that special someone, it'll distract you from the podcast, too.
Yeah.
There
Apparently you're who, like, here's jingling keys.
Yes, a wife appearing after 2 weeks sort of does that, Joe. I'm sorry.
What a wiener.
Someday, Joe, you will feel my plight. And then you will come asking me for help, and I will say no. For you're a dick who made fun of me. That's what I'm going to say to you, Joe. All right. So, but going back on topic, PlayStation Now, any word on how it's doing in the United States?
Not much.
Not much.
I've not heard anything.
Yeah, it's like it just came out, and like it wasn't the triumphant success that PlayStation Plus was. Like after like a couple of months, it felt like we heard about how awesome it did. But PlayStation Now is just existing. I'm sure we'll hear some sort of statistic at E3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless it's doing terribly, it's still very, very quiet about it.
Yeah, probably. All right, what's next?
PlayStation Vue has launched today, as we record this, in Chicago, New York City, and Philadelphia.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, and let's see here.
You need to get on that and get that system, buddy.
Yeah, probably not. Let's see. Yeah, if you go over to PlayStation Vue.com, I believe is the website, you'll be able to check out all the pricing details there as well. There are three plans. That's what it comes down to. The basic access tier starts at $49.99 and gives you 50 plus channels. The core plan adds some sports. I believe it.
I think it's like a $10 difference each plan.
Yeah, so this is $59.99 for the core, and that adds at least looking here. The New York thing. Basically sports is what it adds, plus Turner Classic Movies, and then the Elite tier gives you all the channels that are available for $69.99 a month. And it seems like a pretty fair selection of channels for anybody looking to cut the cord with cable.
Yeah, and the smallest pack has USA for all you guys that are like me and need to see Raw. So,
right. It's kind of pricey though. I thought it might be a little cheaper than that, but PlayStation Vue also has DVR functionality that other services like Sling don't have. So I guess that's worth an extra $30, I guess.
Yeah, like I would say that the prices that you get at elsewhere are going to be cheaper only if they're tied to a promotion. Like once the promotion wears off, this is about what you're looking at.
Yeah,
which is once again not too good, only because if you're in competition with a cable company, you don't want to be on par with them.
Yeah. I mean, right now, as it is right now, it's not too much cheaper than a basic cable package or the regular or the average cable package that people get usually. Like, I think the average that people pay for cable is like $67 or something like that. So to be, at or slightly below that, and offer less than what you would get with cable is not super enticing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for the convenience factor, for here with me, we'd be pretty much set. We have two PS4s, so the TV and the living room and bedroom is all set. I don't need to worry about a dude coming in and installing anything because all it is just my PS4 connecting to it. So there is that benefit. Like, is there DVR functionality too with these, or?
Yeah.
Nice. So.
Yeah, and it's all the DVR stuff is done in the cloud, so it doesn't take up space on your hard drive, right?
I'm very interested to hear on reports of how well it works, because if you remember, I know starting with PS3 and possibly PS4, they started doing a live events app on there, which you could see pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. And I had a friend who got SummerSlam, I believe, 2 years ago. It was the one that Daniel Bryan beat Cena. Uh-huh. And it skipped and lagged and just quit. It did not work at all. And my friend never got his money back. So, yeah, after that, I was like, yep, I'm staying the hell away from you. So,
yeah, I just don't know. Right now, I guess the only benefit that I really see is that it's supposed to, like, the UI is supposed to be much better than, it's much more smooth than you would get with normal cable bots. Because, both when I had Comcast, I thought it was like super sluggish. Same with Dish Network. So I guess that, that could be a pretty decent selling point where it's like, hey, you can actually do stuff in a timely fashion here. But right now, in terms of cost, it's kind of a tough sell, I think.
Yeah, which once again, it could be fixed later, or maybe they can do what like us at AT&T and Comcast can do, and that's if you sign up, you get a promotional deal for a fixed amount of time.
Right.
Though on the plus side, it's treated just like a Netflix or Hulu, where you're not locked into anything.
Right.
So
yeah, that's true. I mean, like when you sign up with like Dish or Comcast or whatever, you do usually have to sign like a 2-year contract or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's no such commitment here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tricky because on top of paying the money for PlayStation Vue, you also have to have internet service as well. So
yeah, it's going to depend on that. I mean, if you're like one of the chosen few who have gigapower, I assume you're going to be fine. But if you're like writing 12 megabytes per second or 6 megabytes or 3 megabytes, this is probably not an option for you.
Yeah.
Should be interesting. As time goes by, I'll be curious to see how Sony handles this, because usually, like their PlayStation Now beta, I liked up until the point where they were charging money because it was too much, and then they did the subscription thing, and I was like, that's still kind of much. So,
and they're still missing some they're missing pretty much everything under Disney's umbrella as well. Like there's no ABC, there's no Disney Channel, there's no ESPN, which are pretty substantial omissions, I think.
Yeah, ESPN especially. Ugh.
Yeah, because Dish's thing, what is it, Sling, that offers ESPN right out of the gate for $20, so that's pretty important, I think.
Yeah, they've got I don't know, maybe Disney was insulted that they make Powers. It's like, you trying to insult Marvel right with this shit?
That doesn't make sense, because Powers is published by Icon, which is a Marvel imprint.
Okay, so the Marvel logo shows up at the beginning, or did I miss that?
No,
okay.
No, I'm just saying that it is technically a Marvel product.
Well, there you go. They're pissed off about it.
Yeah, how dare you give us money for
that? Did you see those costumes? Oh, but I will give the nod to Sony in the sense that, once again, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in how that Xbox wanted to be that box that does everything by connecting to your cable box.
Right.
Like, this one is like, hey, how about we just make the freaking video game console the cable box itself? That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Just like their VR. They're coming out with great ideas. It's just their execution is a little
Right. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Joe, there is a free 7-day trial, I believe, for new users. So if you're curious, you can check that out.
Joe, we're curious. You should check that out. Seriously, go check it out. Anyway, review coming next week. Anyway, Joe, what else happened this week?
Let's see. Speaking of streaming services, Malcolm, apparently it seems that Comcast may be violating those new net neutrality laws by blocking HBO Go on PS3 and PS4.
Not those saints over at Comcast.
not those swell guys. Apparently on Thursday, the official text of the Open Internet Order that the FCC published Uh, uh, let's see. Oh, on Thursday, the FCC published the official text, which until then was unseen by the public. The first focus of the order, as previously explained by FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler, is to eliminate three practices deemed exceedingly harmful to a free internet, which are blocking, throttling, and paid prioritization. That is, customers must get any service they pay for in its fullest form and must not be charged in a way that favors particular content. Quote, a person engaged in the provision of broadband internet service or access service shall not block lawful content, application services, or non-harmful devices subject to reasonable network management, the order states. Let's see, as a lawful application, HBO Go should be available on customers' devices, but Comcast customers have frequently complained on Comcast forums that HBO Go won't work on Sony consoles. The issue began with the PS3, with the app's PS3 launch in March of last year, and persisted on PS4 earlier this month. The FCC reasonable network management exception mentioned in the above rule states that a provider may block or throttle a service or app so long as it has a technical justification for doing so and doesn't relate to business decisions. So if Comcast has a network management reason for blocking the app, then it may be considered an exception to the rule. But in a February 18th forum response, a Comcast employee said, quote, HBO Go availability on PS3 and some other devices are business decisions and deal with business terms.
That kind of sums it up, yeah.
Yeah, that have not yet been agreed to between the parties. I mean, I think that's interesting.
I never thought I'd be thankful that I don't live in a Comcast area. Like, freaking A, they're freaking tyrants.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky, though, because, like I mentioned last time, I'm not so sure, because this technically affects Comcast as a cable provider, not as an internet provider, because, as I mentioned before, I am a Comcast internet subscriber, and I'm able to stream HBO Go just fine, because, because when you shared your login information with me for HBO Go, and you have that service under AT&T Uverse.
Which is not the devil, by the way.
But I'm still able to stream it on my Comcast internet. But if you were on Comcast and I had another internet provider, I'd still be unable to stream it anyway. So
yeah, I wouldn't be able to stream it anyway either.
Yeah, like it feels like it's technically more of a Comcast cable issue than a Comcast internet issue, but we'll see how the FCC deals with that.
My God, I hope they deal with it soon, because I was actually kind of cheering that when this ruling went by, that so companies can't be dicks, and I just love, like, not even a day or a couple of days after it's passed, it's like, oh, hold on a sec. Yeah, get ready to say that a lot, FTC. Jesus.
Yep.
Or FCC, well, whatever. All right, Joe, what's next?
All right, some cheerier news here is that for this weekend, or the weekend of March 20th to the 22nd, Sony is offering a free multiplayer weekend on PlayStation 4 for PlayStation 4. Basically, the way it works is that with the PS4, PlayStation Plus is a requirement for multiplayer now. But for this weekend only, you can go ahead and give that a shot without a subscription. So there you go.
Hey, just to see what you've been missing out if for some reason you still haven't done PlayStation Plus.
Well, it's a free multiplayer weekend. It's not like a free. It's not like a full-on PlayStation Plus trial.
Okay, yeah. We should be. You're not. Yeah, but
you're not going to be able to download and play games for free.
Yeah, we should specify. I was just saying that in the sense that you get this by getting PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And the benefit, we've talked about the benefits over and over and over. And if you're one of those people that are still saying, "Nah, I don't understand," but hey, there you go. So you can finally play Strikes and Crucible on Destiny, or you could try out one of those free-to-play games on the PS4, or any multiplayer. You can try that out, see what you missed, and if that helps sway you towards spending the $50 for the year service, and you get free games too, and then awesome, go for it. All right, anything else to say on this, buddy?
No.
All right. What's the next story?
The next story is that the developers over at Respawn Entertainment, specifically CEO Vin Zampella, has confirmed that Titanfall 2 is not only in development, but it will also be a multi-platform release, meaning that not only will it be on Xbox One, the way the original game was, it will also appear on PlayStation 4, and so, there you go. Yeah, he said, quote, I guess EA announced the sequel so I could play coy and pretend I don't know anything about it, or yeah. So we're working on a sequel. No official name yet, but we're working on that. That's the main focus, but we're starting up a second team and doing some smaller stuff too. Small exploratory stuff, taking it slow. It'll be multi-platform. Yep. There you go.
I still remember when we broke the news of the first Titanfall, which is an Xbox One exclusive.
Oh, no, pretty Microsoft exclusive, basically. It's on 360 and PC as well.
Oh, okay. Well, a Microsoft exclusive, excuse me. And, the way the business deal works, it's never made like the day it's announced. It's been made like months prior. And you could tell this company, like, when you actually read their statement when they were trying to figure this out. It's like they signed up with Microsoft thinking that they would be destroying PlayStation like they were with the 360. Then 10 million units sold or whatever the number was, and Xbox wasn't. It was shipping a lot of stuff, but it wasn't. And they were like, "Yeah, we're only on the Xbox." They were so defeated. We backed the wrong horse. I'm so sorry.
Indeed.
I think they even tried to go on PlayStation. And Microsoft like, nope, sorry. So, do you think this is going to be a big blow for Microsoft, or?
No. I mean, the game is not being on. I mean, it'll be on their system too. So I guess it's fine.
Well, it's not going to be. It's not like they're being left out. It's just that it's no longer they lost an exclusive. Essentially, this could have been an exclusive for them from that point on.
That's true.
But hey, I can finally figure out what Joe was talking about way back when.
Yeah. And right now on Xbox One, you can actually get the season pass for that game absolutely free for an undisclosed amount of time.
In the Get Out sale. Don't you ever show your face around here. But yeah, the game, very interesting concept for a first-person shooter, in that not only are you a jetpack flying, parkouring soldier, but you jump into giant mechs.
Yeah.
And you do battle. Only if it had a story. And a single player. And more than 3 mechs. I think it might have done pretty well. So hopefully, this is the sequel, Joe. Number 2 was always amazingly better than the first one. So,
yeah.
Infamous 2, Dead Space 2, Assassin's Creed 2. That was infinitely better. So.
Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2, Metal Gear 2. Oh, wait a minute, no. So we'll see. I'm excited. I'm very curious to see how this one shapes up.
Yeah.
Anything else to say on Titanfall? I know you were a big Titanfall supporter back in the day, Joe.
No, I'm just happy that it's happening.
Beauty. All right. What's next?
Next is what happened? What's going on? Here we go. Final Fantasy 15, in the news, Malcolm, you may have heard of this.
I may have, yeah.
Of course, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD comes with the code for the Final Fantasy 15 demo, and of course, those codes for downloading that are, of course, popping up on eBay, because why not? First,
that was a common misnomer. I thought it would be like another disc in there, but no, it's a code. You download it and.
Yeah, I thought it would just be like but I guess, I mean, that's what they were doing anyway the whole time, was that first run copies of the game would be the only way to get it. But yeah, it's apparently they're going for between $25 and $35 over on eBay for both Xbox One and PS4 versions. And of course, that's pretty much half the price of the game. So maybe just go buy the game. Just go buy the game and sell the game or something. I don't know.
Frickin' A. But it is looking good. Like I've been like peeking at YouTube videos, like I was saying, and it looks pretty awesome. It has me excited for the actual game, which is really cool that we're almost here, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But more on that next week. All right, what else happened this week, Joe?
Where are we? Already talked about that. Jason Voorhees, Malcolm, has been confirmed as part of the Mortal Kombat X Combat Pass, which is basically a season pass.
Oh, Joe.
Let's see. Of course, the season pass comes, separately for $29.99, or is also included in the collector's, limited, and the premium editions of the game. Many ways to do that.
Joe, I was so happy when I heard. I was so happy, Joe. I have to tell you, like if you remember last year, they had Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And I even said on the show, if they wanted to make real money here, you put Jason in there so we can have Freddy versus Jason in Mortal Kombat. That would just be crazy. Or better yet, get some more horror movie icons in there. Get Chucky, get the Gremlin, get Mike Myers. No, not the comedian. and just, or if you want to stab the Love Guru, I guess that's one way to go about it. But no, and just put them all in there and just have like this big fracas battle royale. Hey, Ed Boon, there's your next money-making idea right there. You're welcome. I mean, and sadly, I don't know if we're gonna get that, because it would be awesome. Because if I recall the breakdown of the season pass, it's going to be 2 actual Mortal Kombat fighters and 2 guest fighters, and this is the first guest fighter. Yep. A little teaser came out. It's one of those blink and you miss it type of trailers, and you just see Jason walk up in front. So I'm really excited. That's like a win-win for me, and to say I'm buying. I was already buying the game, and now I can't wait. I can't wait.
I've got enough.
All right. Thanks for contributing, Joe. All right. What's the next story?
Next is some weird news, I think. But Malcolm, if you bought, Lego The Hobbit, right? The Lego fight game for The Hobbit.
Yeah, based on a true story. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I believe the game ships with adaptations of the first 2 movies in that ill-advised trilogy, and people were kind of hoping that they would give it an end by like giving DLC for the last movie that came out last year. Mm-hmm. And WB said we're not going to do that. The proposed downloadable expansion, that was expected to be based on the final movie, will not see the light of day. In a statement sent to GameSpot, publisher Warner Brothers did not explicitly state that the expansion had been canceled, rather that, quote, there are no plans to develop DLC based on the final film in the trilogy. The publisher also confirmed that it has no plans to release a new game based on the film. It's not clear how far Warner Brothers proceeded with plans to develop DLC based on the third Hobbit film, The Battle of the Five Armies. The Lego Hobbit, which was shipped across 9 platforms in April last year, followed the story of the first 2 films of the trilogy, with the final scene in the game mirroring that of the second film.
So, wait. So you're telling me that there's going to be a generation of little children that are going to think that The Hobbit ends with the dragon going out to destroy the town?
I guess. I mean,
that's terrible. Oh my god! And then Smaug killed every human in the village, in revenge. The end. All right, kids, time for bed. That's terrible. That's so bad. See, this is what happens when you split one book into 4 or 3 different
Oh, man, what a dumb thing.
Oh, God, Joe. So do you think there will be like any follow-up, or is this it? Is this...
No, that's it.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
It is terrible.
Oh, thank God we're not going to have to deal with that. We can just but we will get everything for Jurassic Park, though.
Yeah?
Segue, or do you even have that in there?
I didn't know there was anything for Jurassic Park.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, Joe. Yeah, they announced, as I am pulling up the story as we speak, they also announced this week that they announced Jurassic Park, the Lego experience is coming, in which you will get not just the first movie, sadly you can get it the second and third, but you're also getting the new movie too. So you're getting all 4 Jurassic Park movies in one collection.
Okay.
In Lego form.
All right.
And it looks it's a Lego game, Joe. I don't know what you're expecting.
I mean, you already know what you're getting into with that.
Yeah, it's very goofy. It's very over the top. So you get to see a T-Rex run into a tree, but this time it clotheslines the T-Rex. I thought that was actually pretty funny. But that's what you're looking at. Oh, speaking of movies, excuse me. Did you see any of the trailers for that Pixel movie that's coming out?
I have not.
It's you got to check it out. It's the Adam Sandler. It's an Adam Sandler movie, so I know that's strike one. But,
oh God.
But he teams up with the guy who played Rob Blart, or the mall cop dude.
That's strike two.
And it has Tyrion from Game of Thrones in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good enough to remove half a strike.
There you go. And some woman I can't figure it out. And basically, the premise of the story is aliens have invaded Earth, and the only thing that they know is from classic '80s games. So they create monsters based on these pixelated video game characters, and they let it loose on the world. Like there's one scene where Adam Sandler and crew are climbing ladders to take on Donkey Kong, who's throwing barrels at them. There's one part where Pac-Man is destroying the town, so they actually get the guy who created Pac-Man, like the actual Japanese developer, to help him out. And they're like in these cars that are in the colors of the ghosts. And the creator gets out of his car and starts walking to him, and Adam Sandler's like, "What are you doing? Get out! Oh, don't do it!" It's like, "No, this is my book. This is Pac-Man. The Pac-Man I created is a symbol of good. Good, he is pure. He can be talked to." And he walks right up to him and says, "Hello, boy. Let me talk to you. My, have you grown?" And he goes to pet Pac-Man, and then Pac-Man just chomps on his hand and bites it off. And then he like runs, and then you see this old Japanese dude start freaking out. I was like, "Oh, kill it, kill it, kill it." Check out the trailer, Joe, and I'll let you draw your own conclusion next week.
Okay, because man, Adam Sandler movies, man.
Yeah, I won't disagree.
Man, there was a time where, I mean, I guess it was a very short time, but
Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison were goddamn, those are good.
Oh, it's like even Little Nicky was funny too.
That's not good.
Big Daddy. Hotel Transylvania. That was new and that was good.
All right, now you're talking nonsense.
That's not. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
No.
Dude, it was good. Come on. You're being a little too harsh now. I was just playing around, man. Now you took it too far. All right. Folks, do you think Pixels, that's the name of the movie, by the way, is it going to be good? Let us know. Firmware Update Podcast at gmail.com. All right, Joe, moving on.
All right, here we go. Crytek apparently has signed a major licensing deal with a mystery firm as part of its strategy to put the company on a more stable footing following its troubles last year.
Joe, this could be where you're applying to. It's a mystery company. Just like...
Last year, the firm went through well-documented financial difficulties as it struggled to pay staff in full and seemingly stay afloat. Following a turbulent few months, the company eventually released a statement claiming it had secured extra capital to carry on as business, though this still came at the expense of its Nottingham studio. Speaking to Develop at GDC, Crytek co-founder Farouk Yearly and head of PR Jens Schaefer said rather than securing funding from an investor, as many had believed, the injection of money came from a new licensing deal that had been working on for, quote, a long time. They have described it as a huge deal that would put the firm back on track, and apparently they'll announce the deal with its mystery partner soon. Interesting.
It's WWE Entertainment. New World Order coming back.
They're gonna make video game adaptations of WWE films.
I would buy that, man.
I would not.
If they would actually like friggin' out 12 rounds, I'd be totally into that. And the one with Dean Ambrose, I'm actually curious to see that one with Dean Ambrose that's coming out.
Yeah.
Only because I like Dean Ambrose. You see how that works, WWE? You like who I tell you to like. But anyway. If we folks out there recall, it wasn't too long ago we announced that Crytek was literally crying as they lost quite a bit of money.
Yeah. There were weeks or months at a time, I think, that they were not paying people.
Yeah, and you said there was this article you were talking about that was just talking about how people were as you just said, people were working for free. Just it became a literal passion project. They were pretty much getting paid as much as we get paid to do the firmware update, for Christ's sakes. Which is crazy. So hopefully this new partner knows what they're doing, and it's gonna show. It's very interesting that they can't announce it, which makes me think that this will be an E3 announcement. What do you think?
They said soon. I don't think 2.5 months would be considered very soon.
Maybe they're really patient, Joe. Okay, so not E3, but maybe next week, but we'll find out. Yeah. Any guesses into who it might be?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna say probably Microsoft. All right.
It's not like a licensing, but sure.
Yeah, money solves everything, Joe. Don't you know that? All right. What's next?
Let's see. During a panel at South by Southwest, Telltale Games revealed that its first Super Show, it's the combination of traditional TV and interactive entertainment, will not be in conjunction with Lionsgate, which is strange because Lionsgate recently made a significant investment in Telltale, and Lionsgate CEO John Feltheimer joined Telltale's board of directors. When the partnership was announced on February 24th, Lionsgate said the investment will allow the two companies to explore opportunities to co-develop existing and original IP into episodic games and television.
Yep, that was a big story here.
Yeah, so it's weird that they're not doing that with Lionsgate, even though Lionsgate is the one who, I guess, I don't know. It's weird.
So, do you think it's a case of the deal fell through, or that they're doing more of these than we thought?
No, I don't think the deal fell through. I guess I don't know what the hell's going
on. It's confusing. I can see a lot of people wanting Telltale to do something for their stuff or even new stuff because they're proven to be quite successful. They're going to be one of the major studios going forward. I have a feeling, but once again, I'm really nervous to see what happens when they have to team up, and now it's not their schedule; it's somebody else's schedule.
Yeah,
or it's not their idea anymore. It's what they. It's not what they like. It's what. All right. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Any other thoughts on this?
No.
Who do you think it might be?
It's going to be that Zelda thing that they were talking about. They're moving it from Netflix.
Ooh, okay. Or it's a game that you play on Netflix. Press that red button that's on your Blu-ray controller for some reason to go east. Or oh boy! All right, what's the next story?
Let's see. Dragon Ball Xenoverse has shipped 1.5 million copies worldwide, according to Bandai Namco.
It's a mega success. I'm so shocked.
Of course, the figure covers. Like I said, it's worldwide and it's shipped to retailers, not necessarily sold through to consumers. But still, 1.5 million. I think is a good number for that.
Yeah, the success of that show is crazy, man. Like they just released another movie in Japan. The show's been over for like 20 years, man.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's like, oh, freaking A. It's like, and Frieza comes back, and I was like, dude, he was like the second guy to die. Oh, freaking A. But, yeah, I was really surprised, like, when Dragon Ball Budokai came out forever ago, I don't think it did this well.
I don't know.
But I guess people just really like to be able to create their own Dragon Ball character.
I guess so.
Which, by the way, folks, if you're looking for a funny read, Kotaku actually did this article on the best Dragon Ball created characters. Which, if you know a little thing here and there of the lore, it's pretty funny. But you also get to see, somebody did a very impressive Scorpion. Another person made John Cena. Somebody did Mega Krillin, which looked like Krillin if he had a baby with Brock Lesnar. It was great. Oh man, but yeah, fun article. Anything else to say on Xenoverse, buddy?
Nah.
All right then, let us move forward.
Apparently, in the wake of its recent lapse, Sony has again filed a trademark for The Last Guardian. As of March 12th, a third trademark for the game was filed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. It is currently pending approval. Originally announced at E3 2009, The Last Guardian was initially meant to release on the PlayStation 3. Since then, it has weathered multiple interruptions, including the departure of its executive producer, and the development team's founder. So, who knows what's going to happen?
To once again put in perspective how long we've been waiting for this game, on the very first podcast Beyond with Greg Miller and company, one of the first email question was, "What do you guys think about the newly announced Last Guardian?" And then on the last show with Greg and Colin, somebody sent in an email asking about that, and it was like, "Are you serious? We got that on the first episode." Oh my god! At this point, I think it's just a matter of pride with Sony. I've fully lost faith, Joe. I don't think there's a game there.
I could have told you that 3 years ago, Malcolm.
It's like you'd have to believe they were believing they're doing something. I mean, nothing. We have gotten nothing. Think about that. It's been like 8 or 9 years. Nothing. Screenshot, logo, nothing. Oh my god! They're like, what are we doing? It's like the people at Gran Turismo are like, man, it's taking you a while to make this thing, man.
Delivery Digital is looking down their nose at them like,
Freaking Dave. Hey, the guy at Square Enix are like, guys, this is a little too much attention to detail here, man. Come on, pick it up. What are we doing? Freaking Dave. Oh my god. And the killer thing is, when it comes out, it's probably going to be a classic, if it ever does come out. But
I'm sure. I mean,
okay, we have to hear something at E3. We absolutely have to. Come on.
We won't hear shit.
God damn it.
I mean, unless the announcement is we're releasing the game next week at E3, then don't even bother.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. However, if this is what replaced Uncharted 4 for what comes out in the fall, I'd accept that too, just so Sony has something for quarter 4. You can do that, announce that at E3, blow people's minds. And then like, there's a game in every PS4 disc now, so we're going to shove it down your throat. Like, push it like Roman Reigns. It'll be great. Suffer and succotash. But if we hear it at E3, I think it's coming out this year. It better be coming out this year if they announce it at E3. But...
It literally has to be released within a week if they're going to
talk
about it all. It has to be. Like, we can't... It's been too long. You can't be like, and look forward to it this year. Like, I won't believe you unless it... I won't believe you.
I want, like, a 10-minute long promo. I want, like, 10 minutes... Make 30 minutes of the freaking conference just, like, footage of it. It's like, all right, see? I don't want it to be... It's not a trailer. It's evidence. To prove to me this game's coming out. And then say, you know... Then I'll be like, okay, maybe we will see it this year. Just... Nothing, Joe. Like, they have nothing to show for it.
No, sir.
What are they doing?
I don't know, Malcolm.
Oh my gosh. Depressing. Anything else to say on this debate? Final Fantasy 13 became 15 in the time it took for this to show up.
Well, I mean, that's been in development even longer, Malcolm.
Has it?
Yeah.
When was it announced?
Like in 2006, wasn't it?
I'm going to look it up right now. You stall for time.
Because, yeah, that was supposed to be Final Fantasy Versus 13. Man, it's so weird that we're barely getting the rest of what was announced along with Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy Versus became 15. That came as a demo with Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, which was part of the whole thing as well. And we're just barely getting both of those things this week. Crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, May 2006. So, yeah, all right.
It's been development 9 years, Malcolm.
You think?
9 years.
Wow. Well, at least we got like snippets here and there.
Barely. There was a long stretch where it was very Last Guardian-esque.
Oh no, I'm not saying it was never Last. You wrote like an article forever ago about like the top 5 vaporware games, and it made the list.
Yeah, and technically I'm not wrong. Final Fantasy Versus 13 never happened. It never happened.
All right, you asterisk hugger. You.
Oh, am I wrong, Malcolm? Oh. It's so weird because when they first revealed that game, it was like it looked like it's like such a brooding game. Like, oh, look at our sulking hero in the back of this car or whatever. But then, you know, the trailer that came out, you know, a couple months ago, and then the demo, you're like, wow, this is not what I expected when they announced it.
Yeah, like me and my wife had a conversation of this when we were eating at IHOP the other day. She was like, I can't see these guys as Final Fantasy characters. I'm like, why not? But it's like, well, all Final Fantasy characters have these extravagant and incredible dresses and colors attached to them. You know, something to help them stand out. And I'm like, all right. Do you know any other characters that are all dressed in black like that? No. That's how they stand out, honey. And by the way, there's already people cosplaying as Noctis and all the other characters from this game. And I actually like how they look, to be frank.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like an interesting look in general. Like, they're like pretty much the darkest things on there. And what I like about another thing, I was listening to Kind of Funny Games or Kind of Funny, and Colin like ripped apart the voice actor for the guy with the cloud hair.
Yeah.
And out of curiosity, and I've heard footage of his voice, and I thought he was fine. But out of curiosity, you've played the demo for a little bit. What do you think?
Characters seem fine.
Yeah.
Voice actor.
Because here's the thing: the other, even like the Steven Regal character, for Christ's sakes, most of them have dark Batman voices. Like, especially Noctis, it's ridiculous. You can't have all 4 of them talking like this, and you're like, it's like badass. Like, you need the blonde guy who's just there, obviously, for humor value.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough Final Fantasy 15. What else happened this week, buddy?
What else happened is that a former Call of Duty designer has returned to Infinity Ward, Malcolm. Nearly 5 years after departing Infinity Ward, former lead designer Todd Alderman is returning to the company as their new multiplayer project director. In that role, he will be, quote, or he is, quote, the best talent for the right position, according to studio head Dave Stoll. Todd's accomplishments speak for themselves, he said. Alderman was lead designer on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, leaving the company in 2010. Shortly after that, he joined the newly formed Respawn Entertainment. So I guess he went from one Call of Duty developer to another, or to the shell of that, what came out of that. And now he's back at Infinity Ward. Very strange.
I'm sorry. I wish I had more to say on this, but I mean, it's good. I mean, it's a game designer who's maintaining employment. That's always good.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it sounded like, he got it out of his system. If your job was to make one kind of game over and over and over and over and over again, I'd imagine you get sick of it and want to do other things. And it sounds like he did that, got it out of his system, and now he's back to making army games. So yeah. Good for him. Yeah. All right. Well, unless you got anything to add, what else happened, buddy?
A short story here, but if you remember, Life is Strange episode 2 had a little weird delay about a week or so ago, and Don't Not Entertainment announced on the game's official Twitter page that Life is Strange episode 2 will be released on March 24th on all platforms. So there you go. That's long with delay, after all.
Life is strange indeed.
Yeah, indeed.
Sometimes you think the game's going to be released in a timely fashion. Other times, it's Last Guardian.
Oh.
Oh, man. I still haven't played that. Have you?
I have not.
How's it been reviewing? Has it been doing all right?
The general consensus seems positive, yeah.
Oh, gosh, I got to get on that, too. Getting to a point where there's too many games now, Joe. I mean, it's a great problem to have, but still, it's like the most amazing first world problem ever. All right, anything else to add on this one, buddy?
Nah.
All right, moving on.
Let's see, more release date news here. If you're over in Europe, Dark Souls 2 will be coming out a few days sooner than expected. Apparently,
Monday.
Originally, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, which is the current gen remaster, I guess, of the PS3 and Xbox 360 game.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see, it was due to release on April 6th, which in the UK apparently falls on a bank holiday, which is Easter Monday. The new date, April 2nd, skips the bank holiday issue and allows the game and allows the game to release on a Thursday, one day before the bank holiday period kicks in. What's not clear at the moment is whether the change will affect the North American release date. So I guess if you're here in North America, probably hold on to that same date, whatever it was.
All right. Have you seen footage on this game here?
No.
Why do I ask?
Well, I don't know why you ask.
I tell you, like, first of all, graphically, it's amazing. Like, moving at 60 frames a second versus 30 makes such an unbelievable difference. It's crazy. I mean, however, you know how I critiqued this game, saying that they took kind of a few cheap shots here and there by just making it difficult for difficulty's sake. Well, they cranked that shit up to 12 this time around.
Nice, great.
So, like, they were showing examples. They have, like, a video where they're showing some examples on IGN. So, like, they'll just, like, throw in enemies that weren't there before in the previous game that are a little ridiculous. Like, for instance, you'll be walking around in an area that was relatively clean of enemies, and they'll be like, you know what, let's put some giants here. So you got two giants to contend with, and then you go a little further, and you're on Hyde Tower of Blue, and it was like the Hyde Tower, as it's called. And something interesting, first game didn't have Hyde Knights in it. had knights, but not hide knights. But now it's crawling with hides knights, and those guys hate your guts, especially after you kill the boss, and then it will just come at you with impeccable waves and what have you. Also, for really no reason, they just throw a dragon in one spot, so that's awesome. Have fun with that, and you can't take on the optional boss of the game until you take him out. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's like they're like, you know what? This previous game was difficult, but you know what? We can make it better. We can make it more hardcore. So I'm very curious to see how people take to it.
Like yes, let's make this just completely impenetrable.
Yeah, that's really, you might as well call it. You might as well call it the bulletproof edition, because that's what it feels like. Is this a noob? Get the hell out of here! Oh man. That being said, I'll probably buy it at some point, but I digress. All right, what's next, buddy?
Let's see. Square Enix has trademarked 2 possible game names.
Final Fantasy 16 and 17.
Let's see. The first trademark is for something called World of Assassination, which fans of IO Interactive's Hitman series are hoping could be the subtitle of the next game in that series.
Whether it is for Hitman or not, that's the most amazing title for a game I've heard in recent memory.
World of Assassination.
Indeed. I would play that in New York minute, man. Jesus.
The other trademark is for something called Puzzle Soccer, and based on the name, it's probably a mobile thing. And it's probably a mobile thing.
Yes. So it'll be a game that you'll play for hours and hours and hours, and then at the end of it, you'll tie.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds great. It's like, let's take the 2 longest and most tedious things ever. Okay, I apologize. I gotta back off here because their soccer fans are crazy. Soccer fans will tip my car, man.
Yeah. All
right. What else is coming out, buddy?
Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what's not coming out, Malcolm.
Oh no.
I don't know if you remember the game TXK that released on Vita last year. That's basically a Tempest 2000 sequel. I don't know if you remember that.
Okay, yeah.
Jeff Minter, the developer on the game, had planned on kind of releasing it on the PlayStation 4 and other platforms. But apparently that's not going to happen anymore because of a copyright claim and shutdown demand from Atari. Yeah, Minter went on Twitter earlier saying that he's, quote, beyond disgusted by Atari's actions, which ends plans to release the game on 3 additional platforms a year after it launched on the Vita. In promoting the game, Minter had said that TXK would, quote, do for Tempest 2000 what T2K itself did for its ancient arcade ancestor. Minter was producer on Tempest 2000, which was released in 1994 for the Atari Jaguar. TXK is still on the PlayStation Store for $10 on the Vita. On his personal blog, Minter wrote that Atari is, quote, still trying to insist that I remove from sale TXK from the Vita. Polygon is who reported this. They reached out to an Atari representative who said, quote, that Atari was surprised and dismayed by the very close similarities between TXK and the Tempest franchise when it launched last year, noting that, quote, several major gaming outlets expressed the same opinion. So just a whole mess of things. It's a mess.
Gosh darn.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know if Atari was still around to sue you.
I know, that's so weird. It's that Atari basically just kind of lives as like a shell of its former self.
It's like if it senses somebody else using something close to it, it comes from the cave. Money!
Yeah, let's see. There's a paragraph here. It says, over the past 2 decades, the brand Atari has been sold and reorganized repeatedly. Last time, during a 2013 bankruptcy a year ago, was announced that a push into mobile and social gaming with Atari Casino, which draws on longtime trademarks. It owns like Missile Command and Centipede. It later announced a partnership with lottery game developer to bring those brands to a real money gambling format. Basically, what you used to know as Atari is basically nothing. So that sucks.
Yeah, that's a kind of depressing joke.
It's so weird though that they didn't say anything when the game was being developed. And
You think that would have been an optimal time to do it?
Yeah, like not a year after it releases.
It's kind of we're gonna wait till you waste the man hours and time, and where it would be the most devastating to tell you to stop it.
Yeah.
Great. It's great. All right. So, what else happened this week?
In curier news, I think, Joe Montana apparently has been teasing a video game called Joe Montana Football 16, which I had not heard about until I saw this story, when apparently Joe Montana tweeted a picture or a screenshot of this game that confirms that the game is being developed on Unreal Engine 4. That's pretty much all there is to that. But apparently he's been teasing this game since last July, which is weird. Like, I thought I would have heard about a new Joe Montana football game. I don't know if you ever played or saw those Joe Montana football games on the Genesis, Malcolm.
I remember Joe Montana, the player, who, for those of you who don't know, take Tom Brady and Toms him by 3. And then you have Joe Montana, who was just awesome back with the 49ers. But no, I had no idea. I've not seen any pictures of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fairly nice. I just wonder what the game is actually going to be because, it doesn't have the NFL license. And if they just go the All-Pro Football 2K8 route of just saying, hey, we've got a bunch of retired and legendary players that you can play as on otherwise fictional teams, I guess that would be cool. I don't know. But
maybe he's playing against space aliens or something like that.
Man.
Like
Joe Montana Sports Talk Football. That was the game.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Remember that? It was the first game with, I think that was the first sports game with commentary on it. I don't know if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, good memory. And, what if he's in Mutant League? Maybe that's the game, actually.
No, he seems to be calling it Joe Montana Football 16.
Well, maybe he just has a big ego, Joe.
Like, there's no... Like, I've heard nothing about this. Like, no one has announced this game, like, officially. Like, I don't know who's developing it. But Joe Montana just seems hell-bent on just tweeting about this game that officially does not exist.
Well, how old is he now? He's, like, in his 60s now, right?
I don't know. I think probably, like, mid-50s or something.
Yeah, maybe he has, like, touch the Alzheimer's, and he thinks he only thinks he's doing a video game right now. Realize he's just sitting in a chair right now.
He's 58.
They're scanning my face. This game's gonna look amazing. But then again, it'd be pretty impressive if he got a Photoshop of a hallucination. So, well, it's promising that it looks good.
Yeah,
because if you remember, another game that's based on a sports franchise, NBA Live, didn't look good, and it also played not good either.
Like, I think it looked fine, but it played like shit.
Well, when you compared it to NBA 2K, it didn't look fine. But yeah, it'd be interesting. The point you made about how they can't have NFL players is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, because that hasn't worked very well for football games that have tried to come out without that license.
Yeah, what if it's like the NFL version of NBA Jam?
Well, they had that with NFL Blitz, or rather, when Midway.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
Yeah, they tried to make Blitz the league after they lost the NFL license. They're like, we still want to make Blitz games, damn it! And they did, and they weren't very good. although that had more to do with just some weird design decisions that they made. They're like, yeah, you can take steroids and rupture players' testicles. It's like, what? What the fuck?
I think I remember you mentioning this.
Yeah.
Tap A to take the roids.
Oh, God.
Producing too much testosterone. All right, well, we'll see what happens here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's next?
Let's see. More sports game news here, Malcolm, as EA Sports has relaunched their PGA Tour golf game. No longer under Tiger Woods' name, but rather Rory McIlroy. It'll be returning this June as Rory McIlroy PGA Tour.
Yeah, he should have kept Tiger. I don't care if he was cheating on his wife.
Well, Tiger Woods is completely fallen off the face of this planet, Malcolm. I don't know if you keep track of the comings and goings of golf, but
I apparently don't. I know that ever since he cheated on his wife, like people treated him like he was a black sheep. But
well, not just that, but I mean, he's been struggling mightily as of late. I think he actually took himself out of competition because he just wants to get back on track or something. Is what I last heard him doing.
Back on track to what?
To not suck at golf.
Oh, he's been sucking at golf?
Yeah, he's been terrible. Like, he's been like, this is unacceptable. I'll come back when I'm ready. It's like, okay, what a turn for Tiger Woods. And Rory McIlroy is the current number one golfer in the world, so I think that's perfectly fine. Okay. The game will launch on PS4 and Xbox One in June, like I said. But yeah, it's definitely going to be weird to see an EA Sports game or golf game without Tiger Woods on the cover.
Yeah, he was on NBA 2K as well.
Let's see. The Tiger Woods brand lasted 16 years, 16-year run.
Yeah, it was
sports.
Freaking A.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah, the old Tiger Woods PGA Tour series spanned from 98 to 2013, which is when they parted ways with him after a brief hiatus. You know, what's weird, though, too, is that this game isn't numbered. It's just Rory McIlroy PGA Tour, which I don't know if that means they'll just release more courses or something, and golfers down the road. But, yeah, whatever. There you go.
There you go. Well, Rory McIlroy. My only issue is, could he have a more whiter-sounding name?
He cannot, Malcolm.
Rory McIlroy. It's like
he might. Yeah, he's probably. Yeah, he's got to be the whitest person on the planet.
I want to dump his books just by hearing his name. My God, but I'll take your word on it that he's the best player in the world, though. So good for him for landing that franchise. But still, you're right. It's weird. So weird. All right. 16 years, really?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a hell of a dynasty he's leaving behind. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's not quite there, but I think it's pretty similar if they were to rename Madden.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I would dare put it up. Put it right up there with that. My God.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next story?
The next story is Jackbox Games, the developer behind You Don't Know Jack, have announced a new Kickstarter for a game called Quiplash. It will be available on PC, PS3, and PS4, and Xbox One. It will be able to host up to 8 players competing against each other with amusing answers to open-ended questions, such as something you'd be surprised to see a donkey do. The winner of each round will be determined by group vote, and only one of you will need to own the game, as other participants can connect via their smartphones or tablets.
Nice.
Although the team had the idea for Quiplash last year, the 13-person studio was unable to devote enough resources to the concept at the time. Now, with the help of crowdfunding, the studio hopes to raise $15,000 for the game, which I think by now they have reached it. Because when I looked at this yesterday, they were at $12,000 with 26 days.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, they're there. $18,000 out of 15. So.
Good for them.
Yeah. So yeah,
it sounds like a fun game. I especially love the idea that it interacts with smartphones.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't need to have a bunch of controllers lying around. You can just have the game, and everyone that you would invite would presumably have a smartphone that you connect.
Yeah, it's right up there with SingStar, letting you use your mobile phone as the mic for songs, for Christ's sake.
Although I never got that to work, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe this is above that. Well, good for them. That's awesome. My wife is a huge fan of You Don't Know Jack, so I might.
That's an amazing trivia game.
It is. It's
really good.
It's very. It's very. Have you ever hit the button before he finishes the question?
Yeah, it's great. I love Cookie Masterson.
Oh, yeah, it's like, oh, you're so freaking smart. All right, let's see you answer the question then. And it's just a blank screen there, and he's just.
Oh man. Yeah. If you let's see. Yeah, like it's. Oh damn it! If you pledge $10, you can get a copy of the game on Kickstarter.
Oh, sweet. All right, what's next?
I think that's all I got. Yeah.
All right, and before we head out, time for the drop. Or maybe not. What's you waiting for it to load there, buddy?
Yep. Here we go. Finally.
All right.
Fairly busy week this week on the PlayStation front. Here's the new games this week. On PlayStation 3 is a digital game for $25. Is 5-Star Wrestling.
This bums me out so much, Joe.
Why, Malcolm?
Because this actually looks like a really good game, but it's only on PS3. It's not even on Vita.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen the game in action, Malcolm?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, I've seen like the tutorial screens where you can actually like make moves, and you can actually control the animation, and you could like counter stuff into stuff. Like it flowed very much like an actual wrestling match.
But visually speaking, it seems like a very highly polished PS2 game. It's kind of like,
right?
And the fact that they're charging $25 for it is kind of great.
$25?
Yeah.
God. Oh no.
and all the characters are basically very obvious parody spoofs of
current wrestlers.
Yeah, like you've got
the Overgiver.
You've got Raging Andy Organ.
Oh,
Harvey D.
No.
Johnny the Bull. Miavia. Not even Miavia, but Miavia.
Johnny the Bull.
And others such. You've got Ragnarok the Conqueror.
What? Say that again.
Ragnarok.
Oh. They're not even hiding it. It's actually pretty hysterical.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I like the idea of it. Apparently, the description touts it as having a complex, having complex mechanics. But I mean, visually, it's very bad, I think.
On top of that, it's on they never made it so it could work on the new systems, and $25. That's just weird.
Yeah, so.
It's like 19 and lower if you're a goddamn indie game, man. Not 25. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, I wonder how good that is. I wonder if there's any reviews out for it.
I'll have to look around. That's a shame because it looked very promising for a while.
Yeah. Let's see. The Awakened Fate Ultimatum on PS3 is a digital and retail game. How much is that? $39.99. There you go. Mm-hmm. Battlefield Hardline is probably the biggest release of the week. Or one of the two big releases.
I was about to say, there's another release.
On PS4 and PS3 as a digital and retail title for $60. You can also get the Ultimate Edition for $120 if you want to get basically the premium season pass for all the maps and whatnot. See, Bladestorm Nightmare for PS4 and PS3 is a digital and retail game for $60 on PS4. Yeah, wait. I don't see it on PS3 here.
Oh dear.
I just said PS3, right? I don't know what happened there, but it's definitely on PS4. Okay. Cabela's African Adventures, Malcolm. Can't get enough Cabela's.
Cabela's
making its PS4 debut, I think. And that's probably like $40 or $50. Let me see.
We got to control that animal population, Joe.
$40. Let's see. PS2 classic Cars is out for $10 if you want that for some reason.
Project Cars is finally out?
No, Malcolm.
Oh,
this is Pixar's Cars.
Oh, okay. It's just Cars. Okay.
Echo Knight as a PS1 classic for, is that $6.99 or $5.99? Where'd you go?
Where'd you go?
$5.99. There you go. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD for $60.
There it is. And by the way, if you get the game online on PSN, you'll still get that demo. So there you go.
Yeah. Jamestown Plus is the spring preview release of the week on PS4. I believe that's $12.99 or $11.99. It's $11.99, $13.99 if you want to get all the DLC with it. Good price either way. Yeah. Sildner X2 final prototype is out on PS Vita as a digital cross-buy game for $9.99. Cross-buy with PS3. I don't know if the PS3 version is already out, but there it is on Vita. And Tennis in the Face, Malcolm. I don't know if you remember this coming out on PS4 a while ago.
What?
But it's out on PS3 and Vita now as a cross-buy title for $4.99. So there you go. There are demos available for Motorcycle Club on PS4, Tennis in the Face on PS3 and Vita, and Tukuden Kiwami on PS4.
I'm actually curious, after realizing how much I'm really loving Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, I'm actually going to get that demo for Tukioden and see if there's any crossover for me.
Let's see. You can also pre-order Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition on PS4. Had a lot of fun with that game on PS3, so I can recommend that. I believe there's a big sale on Assassin's Creed this week as part of the Spring Fever thing. There's also some pretty good deals from Atlas, as they are prone to do. I think you can get Persona 4 Golden for the lowest price yet. I think it's $14.99 on PSN. So if you somehow still haven't gotten that game, you can correct that for a ridiculous price. And I recommend that you do that. And for just a second, for like a day, there was you could have gotten South Park: The Stick of Truth for $5, but they have corrected that to 20.
Oh,
but if you somehow haven't gotten that, it's cheap. It's good for $20.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the entirety of Resident Evil Revelations 2 is finally out this week.
Yep, episode 4 dropped.
As well as the special episodes or the bonus episodes or whatever you want to call them. So the entire, and I think that game's out at retail too now, as well. So there you go. I think that's it.
Excellent. And folks, typically this is where we go to topic of the week, and this is also where we go. Then after that, mailbag, but we have neither. But don't worry, folks. It's
Woo!
We had an overflow of news, so we want to get through all that. And plus, we've got quite a bit coming up. Next week, me and Joe will be breaking apart that demo for Final Fantasy 15. After that, hopefully, we'll do the review for Final Fantasy Type 0, since it's the one we can actually do it back and forth on, which I've been... Of all the things that would happen on, I didn't think it would be Type 0, but all right. And then after that, we've got some more stuff coming, and after that, I'll be trying to play as much Bloodborne as I can to give you guys a review on that too. So keep an eye on all of that. And folks, this has been episode 138 of the Firmware Update. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. If you like us, I would recommend you check out another podcast we do called Slam University, in case you miss all that wrestling talk we used to do. It's a fun little show we do where we talk, where we pick a wrestler and we tell you his entire history, why he's important, why you should care. This week, Joe, we have a very important one as we talk about a man who's going into the Hall of Fame, finally, Macho Man Randy Savage. So check out that one. That'll be out this week, folks, so keep an eye out on that. But folks, if you enjoyed this podcast, you can keep up with us each and every week. If you use an Apple device, you can just go to that podcast app on your phone and type in Firmware Update and just hit that subscribe button, and there you go. Each and every episode will be automatically put onto the app. On top of that, if you would be so kind as to hit touch ratings and give us a 5-star review, that greatly helps the show. We really appreciate it. If you have an Android device, never fear. You can find us on there using a few apps. One we recommend is Stitcher Radio, where you can use that to stream not only us, but any app that you would normally get on the iPhone. You can stream us. The app itself is free, so you'll be good to go. However, if you want to download us as well, there's two you can use. You can use SoundCloud, which will have the latest episode on there each and every week. And you can download as well as stream from the app. Or if you want a little bit more freedom, we highly recommend an app called Pocket Cast for $3.99, but it allows you access to all previous episodes as well as the ability to download as well as stream. You can also find us on Twitter at the Firm Up for the show, at PS Mount for me, at Once23 for Joe. If you want to email into the show for any reason whatsoever, compliment Joe on his hair and wish him luck on his job. Tell me how right I am about Diablo 3 and how Bloodborne is going to be incredible. You can do so. Firmware Update Podcast at gmail.com. That's Firmware Update Podcast at gmail.com. We'll read you on the show, and we'll do a further discussion on whatever you talk about. Write us questions. Write us anything. Firmware Update Podcast at gmail.com. You can also find us on Home Base, our bread and butter, our primary location. That's on WordPress, where you can just type in www.thefirmup.wordpress.com.
Attaboy.
And Joe, is there anything else I'm forgetting this week?
I would guess not.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us this week. We will see you next time.
Toodaloo. Now I think we're all Uncharted and Morpheus out.
All right, we're all charted now. All right.
But yeah, like hopefully we'll have something to fill that gap.